From PlebLab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker News Live!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name is Car with Keyan. Keyan, how's your week?
It's great. My arm is sore from holding this mic already.
Dude, calm down. Seriously. Is it
Yeah.
that bad? Car had a fancy gentleman Jack at the
I
Commons.
told you what the name of that drink was, and you still think it's a Gentleman Jack.
Whatever. And then I forgot the bottom part
It's
of
an
the mic.
old-fashioned. I don't know. It's a Gentleman Jack. I don't know. That's like
The things.
It's like a drink on the back of every.
This is true. This is true.
Jack Daniel's bottle, I think.
I'm gonna put on the glasses because there's so many bright stars in Austin this week.
Wow.
Like
That's right. How was the conference for you? You threw a startup day.
So we had it was a lot of fun, dude. It was a lot of fun. I had the Takeover today, startup day yesterday. Energy's really high right now. Outside, there's South by going on, and all that woke dystopia. And we're over here, Bitcoiners, celebrating life, Keyan.
That's what you said that twice today. That you're celebrating life. Is there anything in particular you're celebrating life, or just existing?
Just existing. That's what we're doing. We got some visitors in the lab. I won't dox who you are, but we appreciate you. That's a real listener right there. He flew all the way.
We think he's a real listener. We don't know. We haven't quizzed him or anything. We haven't given him the test, but he says he's a listener. I believe him, but for science's sake, I cannot take it as truth.
No, it was a good week. All kidding aside, it was a good week. We've been working extremely hard. Whole team at PlebLab. Logan's a killer. He's just been working. And everybody, Teresa, we've all stepped up. Even the people who were just volunteering at the Commons, Parker, everybody. So it's a community effort, Keyan. It takes a community.
Yeah.
If you want the world to be hyper-Bitcoinization, it requires a community to everybody to pitch in, because we want this hyper-Bitcoinization. We want this to be the Mecca. The Mecca.
I mean, Odell.
It's for our children.
Odell did say on your panel that you were on that Austin is the greatest Bitcoin city in the world.
He did say that. He did confirm.
I mean, I've heard him say that before, but he said it again.
Yeah, he did confirm.
So he didn't make a mistake the first time I heard him say it. He really believes it.
I believe it too. All right. If you've never seen this show before, we'll talk all about the startup day, Bitcoin takeover stuff towards the end. But if you've never seen this show, this is called Stacker News Live. My name's Car. This is my best friend, Keyan. And we cover the top 5 stories on the front page of Bitcoin. I don't know what's being voted on. I really don't follow this stuff, especially this week.
This is the worst segment of Bitcoin. It's the segment where you're like, I don't know how this works.
I don't know how this works. I mean, I'm just a talking head, right? This is all. I'm just delivering the news, Keyan.
Okay.
And then every once in a while you say, hey, what do you think, Car? And I give my, opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Don't listen to me.
I mean, most of the time it's unprompted, but maybe you think it's implied that I asked you what you thought.
Hey.
Yeah.
Keeping it real for the stackers, man. You got to keep it real. Hey, we live in a post-Bitcoin ETF world, Keyan. Post-Bitcoin ETF.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's changed at all, but
I was talking to somebody. Well, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
See how I do that? You just drop a little.
Yeah, you're creating mystery.
There you go.
Trying to hook them.
Hook them. All right. The first top story is, guys, I think Satoshi left us. It's a 2011 Bitcointalk thread. It had 30 comments, 8,943 sats. March 13th Bitcoin post. Keyan, what is this?
Yeah, so Scoresby did a pretty nice survey of the Bitcointalk archives and surfaced a bunch of activity that happened right as Satoshi stopped communicating as Satoshi and left the Bitcointalk forums. I think I think afterwards he might have talked to Gavin a little bit, but I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, he just kind of reviews all of the kind of fun activity that happened on Bitcointalk around that time. The last time he posted on Bitcointalk was the 13th of December, 2010. My favorite from here was one of the Bitcointalk forum users made sort of a joke and told a story about Satoshi being Terminator sent back to like save the world.
Woo, yeah, you love that one.
I thought that was pretty fun. But he lists a bunch of like other response jokes, like accusations of Satoshi being Amish. And
so
clearly the early
what's
Bitcoiners.
What's the whole gist of this? So like just that this was the last thread that Satoshi actually posted on Bitcointalk? Is that the whole thing?
He didn't share the last thread, but he shared the first thread acknowledging that Satoshi hadn't been around for a while. And then like all of the conversations that ensued shortly
Frankie
after.
McDonald. Oh, Frankie? He commented on it too, or what? What is he doing? Oh wow.
Well,
Why was he in the thing?
Oh, there was someone in.
Wait, is Frankie Satoshi? There's no way.
Frankie, that
would be the best. Actually, like that would be the best because like no one would suspect Frankie if he was Satoshi. Imagine that.
I think so. It was the first impersonator, or the first fake Satoshi impersonator was someone who came on and said that everyone should shout Bitcoin at the very moment that they were reading the comment. And I think, what is his name?
Frankie McDonald?
I think McDonald might have first recorded that very early. What's the date on that?
He does the Bitcoin.
Yeah, so that was what I imagined when I read that. And so,
let me see, does he? Has he done
might do
one?
that
Has he
as
done
like
one
an
recently? I know he did one like a while back, but has he done one since the price ran out? Oh yeah, here he goes. Potentially, that could be Satoshi Stackers, according to Scoresby.
According to Car, I don't think Scoresby would say such a thing.
I'm just kidding, Scoresby. Yeah, top comment was from Ellis Mercury. He says, it's weird to consider what a nothing Bitcoin was then and how it must have felt. Handful of weirdos doing this thing that you could imagine in a science fiction way, turning into something someday, but just how insular it must have been. Imagine literally nobody that you knew other than the contents of this forum having an idea what the F you were talking about. And now it's what it is. It's ETFs, presidential candidates talking about it, and all the mainstream news every day. It must be surreal to some of those early day participants. I think in a lot of ways it's kind of still considered nothing. I don't know. That's just me to a lot of people.
You just said we entered a new phase of Bitcoin where this ETF is a thing. And
I think that's just more related on the custody side. But I've been talking about that for a while now. But no, I don't know. What do you think? Because dude, how many times? I mean, people know about it, but people really don't know about it. Or you think the ETF has really caused more attention to it? I mean, not the price, but the ETF. Or is it just a direct result from it?
I feel like you're just saying words. But I think Bitcoin is less of a nothing than it was then. And so it was a distinctly different experience being in Bitcoin then relative to what it's like to be in it now, where, it was purely an internet thing back then. There wasn't the only thing that existed that was like PlebLab back then was Bitcointalk forum.
Wow.
Because there was no.
Oh, there were no.
There were
spaces.
so few. So few
Bitcoiners
in the world.
What was the first Bitcoin conference?
I think it was 2000. Would it have been?
Well, no, I'm not saying the Bitcoin conference. I'm saying what was just the first ever Bitcoin type of conference?
It might have been. Maybe it was earlier than 2013, but the one I've heard people talk about a lot was the first one in 2013.
It would be cool to see those pictures, or there's probably no picture, but it'd be cool to see what that looked like. Imagine the first ever, because there was no template for it. So what would a Bitcoin conference look like for the first one? It's probably just some dudes, you know what I mean? They're just talking about it. There was no influencers back then.
Yeah, I mean, it was all the influencers or the developers, most likely, or the influencers that emerged on the forums.
They're devfluencers.
Yeah, I guess if they need a different name, if they're a different class of people to you. But they
wait, you don't think there's devfluencers?
But all conferences are like other conferences. They're that's my point is what was the early Bitcoin conference like? It was like every other conference about a thing, except it was about Bitcoin. It's not like it was maybe not there weren't figures.
It was just developers that were talking, you think?
Yeah, mostly
There's
probably.
probably just like, it started off as, I would
Miners.
imagine it started like as clubs. Because wasn't there like I think there was like a
Philosophy people.
there was like a UT Bitcoin club that all the early guys here were in. So
Yeah. Keep leaning that way. I'm out of the frame. But
yeah, interesting.
yeah, I would have loved to be part of Bitcoin then. I think like
hey, we are a part of something great. Look at, you're doing Stacker News, man.
Oh wait, I didn't say I'm not part of something. I just said I
okay.
would have liked to be part of the early Bitcoin forum days.
I think it required a different sort of like craziness, I think. Imagine that. Like, how could you, I think I've asked you this story, but like, when did you first see Bitcoin? Like the first time you saw it, not the first time you actually dove into it and did it.
2000, it was either 2000.
Slashdot? Did you see the Slashdot one? That was when I first saw it.
It was 2012.
Okay. I saw the Slashdot article.
Which is what, 2010?
12 or 11 or so it was one of those 10. That was the first time I ever actually saw it because I used to go to Slashdot and this other crazy
I
site.
saw it on Hacker News. That's where I saw it. And then I was like, wow, this crazy guy thinks he's going to like make an internet money and it's going to like survive. And like people are using it on like an illegal internet.
That's funny.
And I was like,
hey, that's exactly what it turned into. Cool. The next top story is being expatriotic. This is from Expatriotic, March 9th. Bitcoin posted 58 comments, 32,000 sats. Keyan, what is this?
Yeah, this is a fun post about, sort of vagabonding, sort of, somewhere in between maybe vagabonding and being an expat where you like work and reside in another country. And expatriotic, I think, is the handle of the stacker, and they are themselves an expat living and working in China. Kind of describes like why, like what's the, like why they are expatriotic, why they do it. It's mostly a standard of living thing.
It's just like
they kind of elaborate on how good it is, how much better their life is taking like an English language skill set into a third world country, or not. I mean, in China's case, it's not. I wouldn't consider it third world anymore. Maybe in some parts, but another country where they value, kind of a skill we all natively have, and the standard of living is much lower because there are people who are much poorer than what expatriotic is getting paid to be a teacher. And so
is that true that you can just get paid just for teaching English?
Yes. Wow. And you get paid well. I mean, there are many people who travel and do this.
Wow.
It's like a pretty common thing. It's like a great thing to do if maybe you don't have a skill that's like very marketable on the internet and you can't work remotely that way and travel that way, but you can sell your English language teaching skills and also probably learn the native language.
Yeah, so it looks like the ranking for this is Switzerland. Number 1, Ireland. Wait, this is not in order, is it? Ireland number 2.
I had trouble knowing what this table meant. Yeah. But I think it's an attempt to demonstrate the amount of money that you earn kind of following the playbook that expatriotic is describing here.
Yeah.
And then the purchasing power of that money. But I think he's basically concluding that Switzerland has the highest purchasing power. But I don't know if you'd want. I don't know what's good or bad here. Is it like being top here is good? But they're in China, so if you scroll down, maybe China is listed there. So I would guess actually being farther down might be better. But it says in Vietnam.
Dan, you would think Mexico would be in there. I guess not. I thought it was really inexpensive.
I don't think it's necessarily being. I mean, it looks like he skips a bunch of numbers, so it might be in there somewhere, and it's just not accounted for.
Well, the top comment was from what do you know, Mr. Darthcoin. He said he quoted, "This article is 100% AI free." I don't know how he would know that, but he said, "Effing love that proof of work. I would like to see what Natalia will say about this post. Aren't they both expats or no?
I think Natalia is. Natalia. Well, I'm not sure if Natalia necessarily takes on work in the same way wherever she resides, or maybe she's more of like a digital nomad type. But there is like a distinction there.
Triple doxed. Natalia says, stage 1, you realize there are many places you can spend less, but to live the same quality of life or even better. Stage 2, you are no longer satisfied with only living somewhere so to save money, and you want to see how you can take advantage of the local surroundings. Stage 3, you can look at yourself to see what you want, need, then you choose where to live and absorb the knowledge within. Later stage, maybe you decide to share those secrets that you discovered to help others to leave the cage. What do you think, Keyan?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think there are trade-offs with living in other countries that, like so if you don't have a hard tie into your native country's culture, or your native country is like hostile to inhabitants, like many countries are, I could see the benefit of by default seeing the world this way and trying to find the best country that suits you otherwise. But for someone who enjoys their culture and their country maybe doesn't completely mistreat them, it's maybe a little bit one way or another. But I think for someone like Natalia's written a lot about coming from a communist country and dealing with all of that. So you have to when you're kind of forced into that situation, I think, and I think it's still ultimately a choice, but you make the intelligent decision to live that way.
We should mention, so they also put resources here. PlebWork, that was a team in Top Builder. Bitcoiner Freelance, also a team in Top Builder. Definitely.
Neither made it to the.
We got a 404.
What did he link to?
It probably does that thing where Stacker News does that little thing. I know what he's talking about.
No, he linked to the wrong thing.
Anyway, check out Bitcoiner Freelance, PlebWork, both places.
Oh, he did / Bitcoin Finance.
Yeah, both places that you can make money while, or actually anywhere. You don't need to be a nomad. I don't know. For me, man, I it's funny because it's these conversations literally are the same conversations I'm having right now this week. Is not a lot of people, but some people are like, yeah, what are you going to do when it gets to 100? Everybody's like, what are you going to do when it gets to 100? What are you going to do when it gets to 100? And I'm like, keep going. But there's this travel thing. Oh, you want to travel? I don't know. And it's funny because I was talking to somebody and they're like, how do you feel about this? And it was like, I've been getting this question a lot that I literally was on Nostr and I noted this out and I said, the grass is always greener where you water it. But I'm not stopping to hyper Bitcoinization, baby. I'm not stopping. That's the goal. And I think this week, there was Andre had a great talk at the start of Startup Day, and he was talking about reaching Basecamp. And for me as a founder, as a founder, I don't know how you think about this, but I think he was exactly right. You're literally just trying to get to Basecamp. And then from there, you're trying to get to wherever you're trying to go. There is no stopping. It's just trying to get to a base camp to where you can then stop climbing Everest, for a little bit, for a second. And so when I think about what do I need to do? Do I want to travel? Do I want to? No, I want to keep watering this place around me, this city, this state.
You don't have a plan. You don't want to do anything in retirement. There's what happens when you get to a base camp?
Keyan, I love what I do. I literally love. So it was funny. Okay, so the only thing I really want to do, if I'm really being honest, I want to get a truck. I want to put my bike on it. I want to go to the desert and I want to race it. That's it. That's I have a vision in my head of what I want to do. I'm a simple man, Keyan.
That is simple.
I have simple pleasures. That's all I want. I just want to do that.
But what happens when you do that?
And then I'll come back and then I will start working again because I love what I do. Do you not love what you do? Would you do this anyway? Would you do Stacker News anyway?
Yeah. Of course I would.
So if you jumped around everywhere, you would still do Stacker News, right?
Yeah, but I don't jump around. I don't have an interest in jumping around. I travel earlier, and I didn't like it that much. If I were to, my retirement will look like me being somewhere that I think is pretty to look at, and me reading a lot. And then if I'm capable,
So you have like a Shawshank Redemption retirement.
then if I'm capable of doing something like Stacker News, I'll still do it. But if I'm at the point where it's, for some reason I can't do it, or it's not worth doing, or I can't provide any value or any.
That's a beautiful dream, man. I think for me, what my retirement would be?
What?
Like, I'm being honest. It's like it would just be like I want to start another career, but not a career. I want to get back to something that I pushed away when I was younger. Like, I really wanted to paint. I really wanted to go down that route. And I never did it. And I always regretted it because I was like, man, maybe I could have done it. Like, that's what I would want to do. That's my form of retirement. I would just go and try to do something else differently. Like live an entirely, like one of the things I loved about Bowie, this is a music thing. It's like he whenever he was asked like what he did, he like lived multiple lives in one, which I always thought was really, really cool. He had a documentary that was like it's a really good documentary. And then I think he died like a month later or something. But it was covering the way he was, when he was ending his life because he had cancer. It was like really cool. But he was somebody that would he was a chameleon. He would just start a whole new thing and it would be just as great as all his other things. And I think to me, that's retirement. Is like, go out and try to do something else. Cause you only have life once, right? Like, it's like, what else do you want to experience? Like, what else do you want to create? What else do you want to leave around for others?
I see. Yeah. So
you want to make a contribution.
Yeah. Use it as like another shot, almost like a second life, because you only get one, and maybe that first one's over.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Or you attained it somehow.
Yeah.
Anyways, great post. You're going to zap you. Hey, it's Bull Run.
Yeah. Cool. I think Darth brought him, and he's been posting cool stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Picks in Brazil, a field study for the Bitcoin community. This is a Bitcoin post March 9th from P Sacramento. 22 comments, 25,000 K boosts, 111,000 sats. Wow.
Yeah. This was my favorite post of the week. I thought this was fantastic.
Interesting.
Yeah. I had talked to Lucas at TabConf earlier, I think late last year. And I was talking about Bitcoin in Brazil. And he was telling me that, well, Bitcoin in Brazil might have a hard time because PIX is so good and ubiquitous that it's basically competing with PIX. And the rest of the world doesn't have PIX, but Brazil has PIX. This entire article is about PIX. It's trying to analyze what PIX got right and why they got it right, why it's so successful in Brazil, and what Bitcoin might learn from PIX's success, such that it can apply it to other places. And it's a very deep dive, and it's also very concise. It's well worth the read. I don't think there's much, like many sentences that are wasted here. It's like compact point by point,
dude.
But pretty cool.
You might need to think about putting a print button.
Print? What? Oh, so you can print it out to read it? Send it to Kendall.
Hey man, look at that sponsorship.
Yeah.
Woo, dog. Get some Amazon, get some Bezos bucks.
Oh yes. Anyway, the conclusions are great in here, but the main points he makes, or the main things he kind of repeats over and over, is it's a very well internet connected country. They have some of the highest social media usage in the world. They are like that internet connected. They also have a very their like country's demographics are skew young, and then the other, that's like kind of all 1 point in one. And the second one is that they have a huge informal economy of unbanked people. It's something like 50% of workers are employed in an informal economy. It's like 50% in something like what is it? It's
Do you think
just
Latin
passed by, but
America
it's like 27?
you think Latin America is really
27
going to be
of-
the place to go to?
I think it's like 50 states. Latin America is what?
You think it's really going to be the place to go to? You think like the whole like Balaji, who's the other guy? The guy who's holding heavy bags in China. What's his name?
Balaji's in India, I think.
No, not Balaji. He's not the one holding bags in China. It's the other guy. He's super popular.
Holding bags in China.
What's that guy's name? He wrote the whole book about the transition that we're going through right now.
Dalio?
Yeah, Ray Dalio. Yeah.
Is he living in China?
No, he holds heavy bags. Have you ever looked at his holdings for? I think it's Bridgewater, right?
Yeah.
Heavy bags.
Well, yeah. His whole thesis is that they
China.
are gonna,
He's like betting hard on China.
Yeah. I mean, he has been betting on China, I think,
But
since the run-up
where
of
do you
China,
think it's headed?
Since before any of us knew China was a thing.
Do you think he's gonna? Do you think it's gonna go towards China, away from America, or you think it's gonna go towards Latin America, or you think it's just America's just gonna stay the same, or you think nothing's gonna happen this decade? A lot of questions there, a lot of options.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know what the question exactly is, but my general thought is yes. I think
yes to everything.
I think the world the world order, this is in Ray Dalio's words, is changing, and I think it's likely not to be the United States is not going to be the world's greatest world power, the world's greatest power going forward.
I don't know, man. If we get some Bitcoin, I don't know. Texas is going to be fine. That's all I know.
But do you know that?
I do.
Do you really?
I'm making sure it's going to happen. We're all making sure, Keyan. This is an amazing post.
I can't make it happen.
Yeah, but you're doing what you're doing. Keep doing it.
Yeah, I think the emerging markets, or quote unquote emerging markets, are probably going to do very well. I think the demographics in Africa, India, South America, Central America are all great, and most of the Western worlds, I don't know what we're doing, but
yeah.
Our education is getting worse. We're not having, in addition to like having fewer children, yeah, I think we've just gotten stale and become uncompetitive, and that's just the way it goes, actually. So
that's life.
That's like Ray Dalio's thing. It's like it's not like the fault of the United States and like their values.
No, there's just something about like throwing heavy bags in China. I'm sorry. I just think it's like just weird. It's like you're hoping America ends so you can profit off it. To me, it just feels unpatriotic. I'm sorry.
Well, you can make that argument that many Bitcoiners are doing that too. So then it's like,
are they though?
Aren't they though?
I don't think so. I'm not doing that.
A lot of them are saying that they're waiting for the collapse. Like a lot of this is like about the collapse. I'm not saying all of them, but there are a portion of them. Are you going to disown them the same way?
Portion of those people. There's like a small portion of those who actually like egg it on, and but there's other people.
Okay, so you disown those.
There's other people that are shoveling coal at the bottom, and we're not going to let that happen. Titanic's going to go. We're going to go around it. We're going to fix history, Keyan.
You're gonna make the Titanic not sink?
I think we all are doing it. We gotta save this place, man. I mean, we have a beautiful life right now. Why do we want it to go away? Like this I never understood that kind of thinking. Like Stackers, tell me where I'm wrong. Like
predicting a future that is bad doesn't mean that you want it to happen. It just means that you think the current conditions are going to lead to it. Right?
This is a whole nother. Okay, let's read Elvis Mercury. Elvis Mercury said, I've been thinking about this a lot. It's one of those ideas tough to know how to get at. There are ideas, concepts, interaction, patterns that get situated so deep in a person's brain that they don't even know that those things are structuring their entire worlds. This is true. Maybe the people early to Bitcoin were prepared to accept these ideas or possess some of these critical structures already. Even more, how do you say that word? Evocatively? Perhaps different generations of geographies have and need different conceptual elements in order to really grab onto BTC. What is he saying here? I don't even understand.
You're kind of scrolling through. I have trouble listening.
Sorry, Elvis. I can't understand what you're saying. Next comment. Philippe. Whoa, I didn't know it was possible to publish books on stock. Yeah. Print button, Keyan.
I mean, it's not that long, actually. It's actually pretty. Again, it's
Yeah,
pretty. He has a lot of chapters and links to them, which is nice because you can jump around. But it's actually pretty short because we have a
Ranter
limit.
said, "Feel like I'm reading the whole story of Very Good Adventures." I'm gonna read it this weekend, and I'll drop my opinion.
I would, if anyone is developing a Bitcoin wallet or working on specifically working on payment stuff. I think reading the study of
we had somebody in Top
idea.
We had somebody in Top Builder. And we asked them. We were like, "How is it really in Africa?" Like, I hear the narrative and I hear all these other things, but how is it really in Africa? And he gave me like what's really going on. And he says just a bunch of small local people that have no funding that are trying to figure this out. And so, yeah. But he said they primarily all use the there's like this type of service that he said.
Mancura?
No, there's another one.
USSD?
No, there's like this like service thing they use. I'm gonna try to get him on the pod. I'm gonna see if he'll get on the pod. His name's Hezron. He's a really cool dude.
Is it BitNob?
No, they all use this thing, but
for fiat payments.
And I asked him, I was like, he probably doesn't want me sharing this, but YOLO.
What part of Africa?
Hang on, let me finish.
Sorry.
I'm trying to remember what he told me, but he was basically saying, like, I was like, but like there's people from the West that are trying to take advantage of your area, right? And he goes, yeah, we all know. He's like, we all know this. He's like, this is a normal thing. This is what usually happens. But he was aware of it. But he says that for me personally, I'm trying to figure out a way to get him like some Bitcoin so that way he can go and like build his own club and do all that kind of stuff. But he was somebody I met through Top Builder. Hey.
Have you finished yet? Can I ask you which part of Africa is in?
I'm trying to think. It was the one because I asked him, have you ever had a taco? I said the stupidest question. I was like, dude, have you ever had a taco? Do you know what a taco? He's like, no. And I told him what a taco was. He's like, that sounds amazing. I was like, dude, you're come to Austin, PlebLab. I'm taking you to get some tacos. He's like, cool. But he showed me what they had that they eat. It looked really good.
Cool.
But I don't remember where he was from. Sorry.
What did it look like?
Sorry, Hezron.
Did it look like, have you had Ethiopian before? Did it look like Ethiopian?
No, it was in Nigeria. It wasn't the typical ones that you hear about.
South Africa.
I'll get him on Thriller. I'll see if he come on. He's a really cool dude. He's in our Slack, dude. He's in our Slack.
Okay.
Yeah, just reach out to him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What was he working on? What was his project?
It was BTC testnet coins.
Okay.
Actually, let me just pull it up. Pull it up, Car. Pull it up. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, he needs help. So if anybody's listening, I'm gonna help him if no one will help him. But this is what it takes to get hyper-Bitcoinization across the world. Where is he at? I think he was round 1. Was he round 2? I think he was round 1.
On this episode of Stacker News Live, we watch Car browse the web.
Sorry, I was for a second. Do you want me not to bring it? I cannot.
No, let's go.
Trying to find it. I don't know. Dude, I've had like 3 wines, bro, and some fancy schmancy things. Let me just.
Car's drunk because he only talks about how drunk he is.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, you're like, I've had this many drinks.
Hey, I'm enjoying a week. Keyan. Oh, here he goes. I found it. Dude, he did some proof of work. So we might as well talk about this. So if anybody's interested in all the teams that were in Top Builder, go to PlebLab's GitHub, give us a star, maybe a follow, and share these teams. They need help, man. Let me see.
It was at the top, dude.
Where's it at?
It was at the very top.
Was it? Oh, there he goes. Is this Hezron? This might be Hezron. I think that's Hezron. I think it's his. I think this is his.
Karani.
Let me see if we can find it. Testnet coins. Yeah, he had some milestones. We checked in with them. But yeah. Talk to Keyan about bots. You talked to him. Talk to Keyan about bots issue.
Okay, that's why
the main thread of running the faucet. Followed up with about project. See? Hey, there's a proof of work right there, Keyan. You talked to him.
I did. I referred him to a few people and could previously run faucets.
But he needs this to go and do the things that he wants to do.
I'm
going to try to help him. I believe him. If he says he needs something, he probably needs it. He's not just saying he doesn't need it. Anyway, long story short, I'm going to go back. The next top story, I don't know how we got down that rabbit hole. Next top story is, does compliance kill Bitcoin? This is from the Bitcoin Bugle. A Bitcoin post, March 11th, 28 comments, 5,391 cents. Baby.
Yes, the Bitcoin Bugle has been writing some more I think some more straight pieces on Stacker News over the last month. This one is still, kind of jokey, but I think
Don't make a post about Keyan or me, please.
No, it's
Don't
not.
do it.
It's not. They just ask it. They ask a fairly serious question in a Bitcoin Bugle way.
This is a serious post.
Yeah, it's like serious.
Oh wow,
it's serious about.
Wow, is he good? I'm sorry. Keep going.
I mean, I think the serious question they're asking is, does compliance kill Bitcoin? Is it what is the fate for Bitcoin in a world where
post Bitcoin ETF?
He says nothing about your personal talking points. He just says, does compliance kill Bitcoin? And there are a bunch
Does he define compliance?
Yeah, it's in there. He's talking about people who think Bitcoin should be compliant and think that's important for Bitcoin success. And, it doesn't really point out who those people are, but, that's claims that there are people calling for that. And you can vaguely kind of appreciate that there might be people who are doing that. And then, disagrees and asks what.
Is compliance the same thing as custodial?
No. Compliance is like the government is asking you to do something, or someone is asking you to do something, and you comply. You do it.
So bullet to the head or comply, basically.
It's not really in this case. It's not really a bullet.
It's more like prison or comply.
Risk of such things.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, Ross, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Ross is a great example of what not complying can do, and one of the worst examples in Bitcoin, or like the primary example in Bitcoin of.
Yeah, that's like the biggest. That's like it's to say that's not a scary thing. That's like who wants to spend their life, But
no one. But if you remember my comment about how I want to retire, I mostly just want to read. So, maybe I'm not doing it on a beach. I'm doing it in prison. No, but I'm not.
Keyan, if that were to happen, there's no doubt you're living Shawshank Redemption, because you literally will find out. You're a really smart guy. You will wizard your way out of there somehow, some way.
I know you would love to escape from prison.
Would totally, and you would have all these stackers. You would have all these stackers
to escape
who literally wait out there for you. And I'll write you, man. I'll write you.
Okay.
I'll write you on Stacker News. I hit print. I'll just woo, man! You see how I bring that back? You see, that's just called.
Yeah, no, program. It's not. You didn't really. You just mentioned something. You mentioned something in the past. So loop. It was not. It was not a loop.
It was totally a loop.
It was a string.
It was a closed loop. That was totally a closed loop.
It was a single string.
It was kind of a closed loop. Anyways, we got Noddles. Notice and Noddles. He said, couldn't agree more. It's freedom, money, or bust. Patriot.
Wow.
Atrius, he says, as time and adoption goes by, Bitcoiner will more and more be designation like water enjoyer. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Water enjoyer? So you like free water or what? What does that mean?
Yeah, I think he's saying that it'll be very common for people to be Bitcoiners, and it'll be like someone who likes Bitcoin and someone who likes water.
So the people that carry like water jugs and stuff.
No, just like any human being is a water enjoyer because we depend on water to live.
So okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
cool, man. Look at this one. I will not comply. Yeah. That's you right there. That's you right there, Keyan.
It's like made in the 90s.
This is not. See, like this right here on Stacker News with your face in front of it is not good. It's no bueno. Keyan.
I'm complying. So I believe in that.
Here, I'm going to say the word that we need to say so you're safe. We're experimenting. I mean, Uniswap experimented. Stacker News is experimenting. The only difference, we don't have a WEF lawyer. If we did, we'd be safe. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
This is
all I'm
interesting.
Saying. Hey, man.
Don't listen to anything Car says before he says. That's all I'm saying. That's what I've learned.
Hey, we're experimenting, just like Uniswap did.
2 years of this podcast.
Is doing. We're experimenting, Keyan. You're experimenting. Hey, man, layer 2, bro. Layer 2, bro. We're experimenting. Hey, it's a poll run. We're experimenting.
How many drinks have you had so far?
Just 4.
Okay. I just want to get the count before you give me the count. Just to...
Okay, here we go. Okay, the last one, maybe? Yeah, the last top story is, are you moving towards freedom or away from it? Oh, this is going to be great. From Keford, 36 comments, 6,963 sats, March 13th. DIY post, wow. Hey, let's up this one. Here you go, buddy. Yeah, what's this?
Yeah, this is like Keford describing roughly the path to freedom, like what they see as the path to freedom, the things you need to do to maybe consider yourself getting incrementally free. The way you need to change the way you think about things, the way you need to, where you need to live, how you need to live, the skills you need to develop, the friendships you should be attempting to make. Generally, like what is the disposition of a free person or a person who is on their way to be free? I think they do a pretty good job of, a person, a resilient free person too, someone who isn't dependent on anything that, should it fail, they fail as well. That's kind of the whole.
Yeah, the first top one was from Gray Ruby. He said, great post. As always, words are much easier than actions, and most people who claim to want maximum freedom are LARPing. Myself included at times. My wife and I have been talking for years about acquiring a property in U.S., so we had a place to go if we got fed up of the Canadian nanny state. We are actively looking. Interesting. Keyan, what do you think? Are you free?
Am I free? I think I am, sort of. I'm definitely not doing very well on many of these headings that he has. But I think in terms of some of the stuff, I think I do a pretty good job. But yeah.
Are you moving towards freedom or you're away from it?
That's interesting.
Like, what does you and your wife talk about?
I don't really think about it.
Do you and your wife talk about like moving away from freedom or towards it? Do you feel like
we don't really talk about it in those terms? But I'm mostly focused on Stacker News, so that's whatever. Is that moving towards or away freedom? I don't know. But that's mostly what I think about and mostly what I do. I don't really have another goal that is like, I am going to be a free person. It's more like I am going to be the best person that I can be to make Stacker News. That's mostly what I think about.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that think like that too. We're all very similar in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, I think these are things that I would think about if I weren't thinking about something else. And I wish I did think about these things more.
I think I'm already living free, to be honest. Like, I think for me, it's feels kind of existential, what that means. You know what I mean? Like, it just like, I mean, what are we defining here? Are we defining like a word? Are we defining like how we move about life? Like, what are we defining? Like,
he's he's defining a direction. There's like a direction. If you head in this direction, you are moving towards being more of a free person.
I don't know. Like, I read a lot of scripture, so for me, I read a lot of scripture. So for me, I have like a kind of like a thing like where I believe there's already an end goal, and I think God is just moving towards that end goal. And however I get to that end goal, it's going to happen either way, and He'll guide me along the way. And then at some point, either I reach that end goal or I don't reach it. But I think it was all to get to the last thing that He wants me to get to. And I think every milestone or whatever you want to call a win, is just like it's just like looking for signs, right? Like looking for things that are telling you you're right where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be. And I see those all the time. Every time I do something, every time I'm like at a place or I'm talking to somebody, there will be a sign that I see And I'd be like, oh, wow, I'm literally like, that's literally me supposed to be here because I see that sign. Hey, I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign.
So you hear
Life
the
is
ace
astounding.
this ace of base.
I mean, there's some truth to that. Like
Yeah.
when you see the signs, like keep following it. Like, I mean, that's what I've been doing. Like,
It depends. I think,
and for me, that's freedom. Is no, because like dude, there was a time where I didn't see any of those signs. I was just moving. I was just going right past it. Missed the yield sign, missed the stop sign. I
think some people
all gas, no brake.
Some people are not very good sign seers. I think.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah,
I think a lot of us think we see signs and we're not, and so that's my. I think, but I do think there's
like reading the tea leaves. There's something about like reading the tea leaves, and I think you have to have that, or maybe you get that at a certain point. And there's some people that just play it straight. I wish I was that guy. But
do you?
Yeah, sometimes. Like I look at my younger brother, and he's like, just played it straight. And
what does playing it straight mean to you?
Like following the rules, not coloring outside the box, doing everything you're supposed to do, and then. But yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting that you.
But that's free. That's freedom. That's freedom.
It's a certain kind.
I mean, because I talked to my sister, like that's freedom for her. Like that's freedom for what they do. Like you know what I mean? That's freedom. That's her freedom. So that's how she gets. You know what I mean?
Feel good.
Yeah.
But I think by Kepford's definition, that's not freedom. But maybe everyone defines freedom.
I think everybody defines freedom the way they want. And they're comfortable going down with that freedom, however they see fit.
Then we probably all have like a shared definition of freedom.
I think so.
Which, is it Kepford's definition or is it your brother and sister's definition?
I mean, some people are happy living in the Matrix, right? It's like, doesn't mean that it's bad. They're aware of it. They just...
No, it's not. If they like it, it's not.
But I wish I could live in the Matrix. Does that mean, you know what I mean?
Do you really?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
I want to eat gruel.
Then I realized like I could never fit in the Matrix. Like it just doesn't work.
What if you were like the French guy in the Matrix?
Which was no, I would not want to be that guy. I mean, come on, dude. Anyways, that's all the top 5 stories of Stacker News. I feel like we don't even cover the stories anymore. We're just talking about life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what are we doing?
We read Stacker Life.
Stacker Life Live.
We go on a diatribe.
Hey, Stackers, we do this for you. We're going to jump into some meta. We had the Alekos Filini. How do you say that, Keyan?
I think
Filini?
Alekos Filini. I think it's Greek.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Alekos Filini is, I think, one of the founders, if not, he might be, I think, just a co-founder of not just, but a co-founder of 22 Devices. They're building a new hardware wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this?
I saw it on Twitter. It's freaking epic, bro.
Right. It doesn't look really cool.
It looks really cool.
It's shaped like a key. It uses NFC, has a little screen, has no battery.
Based.
It uses NFC for power, so it's like a very low-powered NFC device.
Based.
And it looks really cool. And so they launched it. I think they're taking pre-orders.
Wow. How much are they?
I think it's $100 per.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
He runs the docs. He runs the hackerspace in Italy. Or he's one of the people in the hackerspace in Italy.
Oh, maybe Alekos is Italian. But I thought it was, maybe it's both Greek and
Italian.
I don't know.
The only reason I know that is through somebody else that told me that.
Oh.
Could be wrong.
Well.
First top comment. Top comment. What's your story behind naming your company 22? What's his name again? Filini?
Yeah, Alekos.
Alekos Filini said, we were trying to find a name that would be somehow related to the technical functioning of the device. We started from the frequency at which NFC operates. Oh, wow. He went down to the frequency, 13.56. Is that what the frequency is for NFC? How did I not know that? But 1356 was a bit too long. No, because like, dude, frequencies are like a whole thing, dude. And it turned out to be around 22.
I mean, it's a whole, what whole
22
thing
is a whole 21. Oh, dude, what the truck? Okay, I need to talk to this guy. Is it a guy or girl? Guy? Alekos? Guy?
Alekos is.
Yeah, I need to talk to him.
I mean, I would.
I just want to talk frequencies. I don't even want to talk about the hardware.
I would bet on it.
Dude, you know frequencies are a whole thing.
In what way?
Music. I know music
has. I mean, frequencies are near.
So I can
pretty
really
much
go into
everywhere.
like a really hardcore like frequency, like what do you call it? Like a what do you call that? Conspiracy theory for the Beatles. But I won't do that. Maybe I'll write it up, put it on Second News.
Well, frequencies are like something changing at a regular
Interval.
interval. So that's it's pretty much everything.
You could even say emotions are frequencies too, as well. Like if you play a certain frequency, that could trigger an emotion.
Yeah.
Trust me on this.
Okay.
That's why, like the fact that he knows.
I don't know much.
The fact that
about
he knows about this is like
music
kind of really cool.
I know.
These are like the
believe
mystic arts.
Oh, you believe frequencies are a mystic art?
No, these are like the mystic arts of the world.
Frequencies?
Yeah, that most people don't really pay attention to.
What about astrology?
That's like the, whatever. But like even the gems are like the mystic arts.
Do they have frequencies to them?
I don't know, dude. Have you ever been to the rock store?
No,
take your wife to the rock store.
My wife already goes to the rock.
So take her to the rock store and then go in that little room. And then there's another one in what's the name of that German town?
Oh yeah,
the other one.
That's where
the one
Ryan Holiday lives.
No, the other one. No, not that one. It's the. Anyway, they have a rock store there too. And dude, that one. If you go in that, dude, total.
You get a frequency?
Yes. Hey man. We're all just light. We're all just stardust, bro. Okay, anyway, this is a great anime. Check it out.
Those are different things.
Hey, 5 and Keyan. 5.
Current count 5.
This is what happens when you get fancy.
We're gonna need a drink counter.
This is how it happens. I get very like.
I get someone to make a clip where every time you mention your drink count, you put a counter in the bottom.
I don't even, dude. I haven't even looked at the comments. I don't even want to look at them. All right. So the next anime was Danny. How do you say that last name?
Danny Diekroeger.
He goes by Deezy, or he goes by Danny Deezy online. March 12th AMA. Keyan, what's this? What is? I've never heard of Ordinals.
Oh, come on. Yeah, so Danny is, I think, one of the more well-known Bitcoin ordinal people. And they worked at Cash App formerly, I think, on the Lightning team.
Oh, he worked at Cash App?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think, he did an AMA on Sacred News before. He would play baseball at Stanford.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Stanford ball?
Stanford ball.
Wow.
Okay. And then he went to work at Cash App and then worked on Lightning. And then he went off to form his own company. And then I think he originally started trying to build a really big Lightning node and seemed like kind of building like an LSP. And so he was doing a lot of like liquidity swap things to start. And I guess he kind of saw that as a sort of a dead end. He made like one of the biggest Lightning nodes on the network. I think he posts here that in one of the comments he responds that it was like the best node on the network, and perhaps by some metrics it was, and says that it didn't really seem like it was going to be able to turn into a business for him. So he started exploring other ones, and then started exploring Ordinals.
Is that what? How do you say that name?
Reisendale.
So is that what Reisendale asked him right there? If memory serves, you started working full time on Deezy a few months before Ordinals really blew up. I remember you were focused on Lightning liquidity services, and then when Ordinals hit, started experimenting with Lightning minting and transfer services before really focusing on rare sat hunting. Can you talk a bit about the pivot? I think a lot of people outside Ordinals ecosystem might have been confused, oblivious to that shift. I hear, as I'm sure you do, a lot of people say, why are you working on Ordinals? Why not work on XX ? Why X is whatever that person thinks is most important to Bitcoin. I think there's a lot to be learned from people who are actually building stuff, talking about what they decided to spend their time and why. And then Danny responded. He said, thanks for the question. How do you say that name again?
Reisendale.
Is that the same one?
I don't know if that's how you
Nifty,
say it.
is that the same one that's coming to Bitcoin Plus? Reisendale? Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Confirmed.
Is that how you say it? Reigdale?
Is it Ryan? So Reindale is coming to Bitcoin Plus in Austin in 2 months. Anyway, he says, thanks for the question, Rindell. If you remember, I made a tweet asking if anyone was doing NFTs on Nostr, and you replied suggesting I look into Ordinals. There you go. Thank you for that. That's awesome. When I noticed the buzz around Ordinals, I knew something big was happening and wanted to get involved in the early days, as do we all. There were two issues, no launch pads, no wallets, so I tried building both using the Lightning and Nostr tools that Bitcoiners were using. I felt it was worth the time because growth for my Lightning business was stagnating as we were already the top Lightning node, so I was looking for things to expand to. I thought there would be more uptake of Lightning and Nostr among Ordinals, but that hasn't really happened. Instead, lots of great on-chain tooling has been built, which is awesome. And finally, when running a business, you need to make money. Those are facts, Keyan. If I were a volunteer running a charity, God, welcome to my world, then we could make our decisions based on what is best for Bitcoin. But since I'm running a company, we need to be receptive to market feedback, and we can only sustainably build things if people are going to pay for them. Thank you. In the Ordinals world, people are willing to pay for a lot of things. So yeah, it's a great place to build. Dude, that's a spicy answer, but he's not wrong. And I don't mind saying that because he's such truth. You agree or disagree? Or what's your take on this?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't go to work on something. I think someone responded with a spicy comment in response to him, but I wouldn't go to work on something based on whether it's going to make me money alone.
But that's not what he said, though. He didn't say alone, Keyan. Come on. He didn't say alone.
His answer primarily focused on money, and I think it's enough.
No. His answer primarily focused on running a business,
and
those are two different things.
Yeah, and he said the business primarily needs money, and he's going to direct the business towards money. Almost regardless of what the source of the money is. Almost. I'm not saying that's exactly what he said, but it's certainly ambiguous, and I think it's not unfair to interpret it that way, which is how other people interpret it too. And he's also said similar things on Twitter where it's like he has no qualms with taking money shots without maybe thinking too much about the results of him taking those money shots, because his goal is to make money for his business so that he can retire.
Okay, so
that's fine.
So I want to talk. Can we talk about this, or do you want to just like button this up and then go to the next thing? Because I think there's a bigger story here.
You could talk about. Yeah, let's talk about.
Okay. So you remember when Carla came on What Bitcoin Did? She was talking about how there's no money in Bitcoin for people that are actually doing the things that actually matter on Lightning. There's no money for them, and no one wants to allocate money for them. And you have people like Nifty out there, like doing the God's work to try to get more people onto Lightning to build. And this guy tried doing just that, but he couldn't make it sustainable as running a business, Keyan.
I'm not saying
he went to do something. So he went to do something where there was actually margin, like there was actually gross margin. Like,
I'm not even saying that
what do they expect?
I'm not even saying that doing Ordinals is necessarily wrong or anything, but his reasoning is weird to me. It's not that I am excited about Ordinals and I love art and I think there's something in digital art. When he explains the reasons he went into it, it's because it will make his business money. I think that's the weird part to me. That's the part I take an issue with.
But Keyan, if you don't support the things you love, watch them die in front of you. I'm not no, that's what happens.
It's kind of a non sequitur to what I said, at least.
But what I'm saying, that's what this is.
You're saying it's gonna die because he's not actually interested in it.
Well, no, it's because why would you? I get very flustered with this kind of stuff because I don't think most people understand how hard it is to do the things that a lot of people in this space do, and they don't get enough recognition. Or somebody smarter than me today literally said, there's the people that everybody listens to on the influencer side, and then there's the people shoveling the coal. This is somebody that told me this today. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he goes, there's people that everybody listens to who are opinionated, wrong, right, whatever. And there's people actually shoveling the coal. And I think that's what this means. It's like, he got tired of shoveling coal.
Oh, I think that's. I mean, I think that's fair. I think also, I think I have no problems with focusing on building a business to make money or anything like that. I just see it's just like weird in this whole debate where people are asking him about the motivations, and it falls back to money, and there isn't much discussion around the actual technology. And maybe that's okay. Maybe ecosystems actually need people that are primarily focused on money without, they need Wall Street to, to get money from grandma to make fees so they can redistribute the money in the economy on Ferraris or something. But like, I'm not sure if that's true. I don't like the money focus, the specific money focus. I don't know if that's good or bad. And I'm not making a judgment. I just think it's weird. I'm just kind of thrown off.
The only weird thing that I saw with this whole AMA, because I read the whole thing, and the only weird thing that I saw with this whole AMA was that he never showed a product or anything. So that tells me two things: either he wasn't on here to show a product or something else, or his website or whatever, or secondly, he was here to send a message. So that's how I perceived it as a reader on Stacker News. Was like, that's weird, and I don't know the answers, but that's what my assumptions.
I think Danny can read the room. So Danny's smart. I think he can read the room, and he knows that he's mostly going to get attacked here, and that's I think he's there to take the beating. But his primary product right now is a rare sat hunter, which I think is a fair. I don't think is actually. I think it's like a fun thing. I think a lot of ordinal stuff is kind of fun. I don't actually have much of an issue with ordinals as in general. I just feel like I find the motivation of money alone odd. It just feels weird to me. It feels like almost like a soulless pursuit. But the rare sat thing is kind of fun, especially the way he goes about it, where he will just send money to and from an exchange and then scan the Bitcoin.
Well, dude, like
for a rare sats.
Like Nostr assets is like Nostr assets is like a whole thing on Nostr. There's all this like eCash, all this like nut stuff going on. Dude, tons of money rolling through there. Like, come on, let's be serious about this. There's tons of money rolling through all that stuff. Like, it's hard not to want to take a piece of that as a Bitcoiner. You got to be dumb not want to take a piece of that.
I'm dumb. I don't want to. Piece of that.
No. But I'm just saying, like, so I just seeing it for what it is fine with me, and I love when people own what they're doing. I love it because you're just owning it. You're not trying to hide. You're not trying to obfuscate it. You're not trying to say, oh, it's one thing or the other. It's just own it, or just don't talk about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like own it. Just own it. Just own it. And he's owning it. That's fine with me. So like, yeah, I could go.
Well, there are like rings of things, and then there's like Dante's Inferno. There are like rings of hell, and I think there are there's like, I think of the person who owns the ills that they're causing. I think that person is like in a lesser ring of hell than the person that does wrongs and doesn't admit it. But I still think these, I still think it's better to not be in hell. And that's like,
I love your fucking metaphors. Cause I don't mean to curse. I never curse, but like I'm 7. Sorry, Stacker. 7 in. But dude, I love your metaphors because I don't know if they actually mean what you're trying to say. You're trying to mean.
What do you think? What are you
referring to when you say that? And I mean this in like a loving way. I didn't mean to curse. I'm sorry.
Oh, because there are like gradations to badness.
Yeah.
And so you actually want to be at a lesser level of badness.
So you're saying that he's fallen into what are you saying?
I'm saying that the person who admits they're doing bad is less bad than the person who does bad and doesn't admit it. And that's all I was saying, but but still bad is bad. That's basic.
Started saying Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, it's like a thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Okay.
Hey, man. All right. That was a spicy AMA. Super spicy. I definitely would check it out. I don't want to read all the comments. It's not appropriate.
I think Danny did a great job of handling that.
I think that first comment was
trolls, met great answers.
Well, I think that first comment. I mean, do you want to? I don't want to read the rest of the. I think the rest of the comments is just kind of like.
it's a war. It's a flame. It's a war. It's an internet forum war. It's like this is a culture war that we're having right now. I find it kind of interesting. I think both sides are representing themselves.
No, I mean, as you should. You're Bitcoiners. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Bitcoiners can do whatever they want. You have the strongest money on earth. Do whatever you want. That's my thing.
How many drinks you had so far?
6, 7.
6 drinks.
So this is so we're going into our shilling fest. This is my favorite story of the week that I didn't read. My Bitcoin Wild West Startup Day panel notes. This is from Coob. Coob, you put us in the builders territory.
That's right. Because
Hey,
this was your
Hey,
conference.
it's PlebLab's conference.
Anyway, yeah, I wrote
What did you write?
I wrote the notes for my panel. Before I do a panel, I'll do like an hour of writing on it.
Wow, you spent an hour on your panel?
Yeah, beforehand I'll write about it.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about this post.
Oh, well, I wrote this literally out of my note-taking app. I went and copy and paste this in Stacker News because I wrote this up. But Jana had sent the questions that she intended to ask.
Did amazing job. Did you not feel like she came into her own up there? Like she had the room, bro. It was the most amazing. Like two things I understand. Like, sorry, I didn't know. Two things I realized at this panel was like she can hold a room and just amazing conversation. She just gets the conversation going. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of amazing people in Bitcoin, but I thought that was fantastic. But I'm super biased though.
I thought she did a great job too. I think she's moderated 2 panels that I've been on.
Yeah.
So I haven't had much other panel asker experience, but I always enjoy the panels. Zap. Jana's also been doing the clips for Stacker News. So anyway, so I wrote the questions. These are the answers. Most of the answers I gave during the actual panel, but most people didn't. Some of the people on Stacker News didn't watch it, at least, and that is they can read it, which is maybe more convenient than listening to me stutter.
Were you nervous about this panel because it was called Wild Wild West? No to the Wild Wild West.
No, not really. Not necessarily nervous about the panel topic specifically.
It was good. You, Topher, and Tony did a really good job. I think Tony, I was talking to him last night, and Tony, I won't say. I know you're listening to this. We talked about he listens to this. You know Tony listens to this?
I mean, he's told us. I don't believe anyone when they say they listen to it.
No, he does. He does listen to this. He quoted me a couple times. Well, maybe not quoted.
Really?
He brought some heat to Car.
Wow.
Anyway, hey, I love him though.
Receipts.
He's one of my good friends. I love Tony.
I believe you.
But what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, but no, he came back with a lot of knowledge from his thing that he was at. And I was talking to him, and I think it showed on that panel. Yeah. What did you think?
Oh.
Have you talked to him yet or no?
Yeah, I spent some time talking to him. Yeah, I think it's impressive how fast he grows in terms of his point of view.
Yeah.
So I think that's always cool to check in with him when I do, but I hadn't seen him for a while because he'd been gone.
Yeah,
it's cool to see them and
gave him a big hug, a big old hug, and
nice.
Yeah, we talked a lot, but it was good. It was good because I think he came back with a lot, and it was good to hear about all the updates and stuff. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I think these guys. I wouldn't bet against these guys. I personally would not bet against them. Personally, but yeah. He also had a talk today at the Bitcoin Takeover, which I missed, unfortunately, but hopefully it's recorded.
Hopefully. Did they not? I don't think they streamed it, right?
No, I think Jose is gonna post it later. They like to doll it up,
Yeah.
They got that Unchained money, baby.
So you said my metaphors don't make sense. Were my metaphors during this panel, did they not also not make sense?
I think that's where
Is that where that came
that's where
from?
I finally clued in on you. I was like, oh, this is what this guy does.
He says metaphors that don't make sense. Is that what?
Hey.
Is that no? I'm just trying to get.
Hey, I drink 7 wines to tell you the truth. So hey, it's okay. I love you.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand what you mean so that I know
to fix it. No, don't fix it. Leave it the same way. My next
But
comment,
why?
my next story is
broken.
PlebLab Startup Day 2024 presented by Wolf. Look at this, Keyan. Look, there's your guy right there. We had a lot of talks that day. Look, dude, Andre came down from Zebedee. You got David from St. Leonis. We got Christopher
from Open Agents, right?
Yeah. Got Brandon from Green Candle. Dude, it was a full day. There's the one that panel. There's like, look, there's Coop. There's Coop.
This is right after my metaphor.
There's Coop.
Where everyone is super confused.
There's Tony Doxed. Dude, look, there's G. There's G. Alamo Labs. Local legend in San Antonio. Got Brian from ATL BitLab. Look at Atwood. Boss. That's a Bitcoin Club. Shanna. Look at that, dude. It was a good day. We had like, oh, look, there's Teresa.
Oh, yeah.
With Alan. Dude, that's a base Bitcoiner right there.
Is Alan the
Caesar
lawyer?
Yeah. Based.
Sweet.
Look, there's Parker. Look at Parker.
Wow.
John. Got the Muzzman. Look at me right there. That's me. Sackers, that's me right there. It's the Muzzman. We got Odell. Look at that.
Odell, look
on
at
the same stage. Can you believe that?
He's got.
And then look, we had all this stuff, and then guess who won, Keyan? Guess who won the top builder?
I know who won.
Who won?
Well, do you want me to share it?
Yeah, share
It was Yopaki.
Yeah, Yopaki won. If you stackers, they've been training for 3 months. Yopaki won. Yopaki won top builder. Look at that. Bitcoin Loteria. Darthcoin, you'll love this.
I think it's great. I mean, what I love about Yopaki is that they started with growth first. They started like, how are we going to grow? How are we going to figure out the marketing side? And they just have that. I think they have that dialed in really hard.
Yeah.
And it'll be really cool when you like attach a rocket to this thing, to that like marketing thing, or that you attach that, or maybe the marketing thing is a rocket, and you attach it to the exchange, which makes money.
Dude, it's beautiful. You can see, you know what's funny about Yopaki is like you can see everybody in PlebLab. You can see their input in that app, if that makes any sense. Does it make sense to you? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I understand what you're trying to say, but I don't really necessarily see everyone's input in it. But
okay.
I appreciate that you do.
Yeah, I do. It's really
How many
cool.
drinks do you have now?
This is 6.
Still 6. Okay.
Yeah, I think this was a great job. Nifty was actually a judge, believe it or not. Yeah, you. Why did you pick Yopaki? Do you want to come on and say it? You don't have to, unless you want to. You want to? No. Okay.
I said no.
Why did y'all pick Yopaki? Because of America? She said it was because of America.
Because of America. Because of America, they picked a Mexican exchange.
There you go. You heard it here first, stackers. This goes to 3 million people, so. Can you say that?
Oh, yeah. She said it was because the total market opportunity was the best.
No, you're fine. That's good. We'll post later. No, anyway. Great to see all these people compete. Shout out to Folger. Folger is the ones that sponsored the 10K in Bitcoin.
Folger Ventures.
Yeah, we got HRF
Folger
also.
Ventures,
HRF paid for all the travel expenses. So,
for the top builder teams?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That shout out to HRF.
Dude.
Huh?
It's really
not
cool.
all of them? Oh. Okay. A stipend,
okay. There you go.
Portion of travel expenses paid.
Teresa said that. Yeah,
by
there you
HRF.
go. We're getting confirmed by Teresa. Cool. I think this was great, Keyan. We're going to jump into, are we done yet? We're not done yet. We got at the top.
Super stat segment.
Super stack segment. Top stackers of the week, Keyan. What do you think? Darthcoin and everybody else is in hiding.
Yeah, lots of folks in hiding, but Darthcoin is in top 4, and then Undisciplined still unhidden.
I figured out Darthcoin's.
Gray Ruby.
I figured out how he does things.
How does he do things?
I figured it out. He just comments on everything, says like lame, like just Bitcoin, whatever, and then like just waits for people to respond. Says it, and then he waits for the stackers to upload.
Are you ready for the wrath of Darthcoin when you say it just says?
It's true. I figured him out. We literally went toe to toe. We went toe to toe on the last Stacker News Live. I don't care. I can call it Darthcoin. I'm a stacker too, bro. And he literally just did the same thing to me. But I was like, dude. And then I saw what he did, and then he did a whole thing where he's like, "Car, I can't believe you don't know how to use Stacker News." I'm like, bro, of course I know you use Stacker News. And then he like told me, and I was like, oh, so that's how you do it. That's how he stacks. That's how he got to number 4. So all you got to do, stackers, is be like Darthcoin, and you get to number 4. He gamed the system, Keyan.
I mean, I don't know. If you look at the top people for the week, I mean,
we don't know who they are. They're in hiding.
Darthcoin has 500 comments. He's in the 4th
because all he does is shit talk the whole time. It works. Hey, man, he's figured it out.
No, but I'm saying that's a lot of comments. I mean, that's nearly 100 comments a day. When have we ever
seen, other than his Substack, where he's actually doing something like Kepford, like Elvis Mercury, where it's like this long thing? Has he done that?
He writes one post like that usually once a week. He wrote one on like how to liberate yourself. I believe it was the week before or earlier this week. Kepford wrote it in response to his post, in response to Darthcoin's posts like that.
Okay.
Well, I think you're just trying to beef with Darthcoin. You're having like a little
7 in, Darth. I'm right where you're at.
A little.
He's like 7 in too. You know.
You're like
dude. Darth is like 7 in anyway. He's outside his. He's outside his Citadel. He's just like
Car would.
He's like freaking Car. He always does that meme where I voted him on the Ark. You ever see that meme?
I do.
Yeah, he always boasts that meme. It's like, dude, I would have you on the Ark just so we have this conversation. He loves it, dude. He loves it. But anyway, I figured you out, Darth. Anyways, we're going to go into the most boring segment in Bitcoin. This is the most boring segment. Ben Carmen, no one knows where he's at in the entire. Where in the world is Ben Carmen? No one knows. Literally,
someone make a website.
No, like somebody should make a milk carton, everything. No one, dude. We love you, Ben. Wherever you're at. That's all I'm saying.
This went from Stacker News Live to like Bitcoin's version of Drunken History.
Anyways, top Cowboys of the week. It's basically a KR segment. Come on, KR.
KR has the longest Cowboy streak going.
It's gotten lame since the Muni team left. Total true.
Well, they just couldn't hold. I mean, they couldn't hack it, dude. That's why they
couldn't. They hack it.
They couldn't hack it. They lost their heads.
Or they just were too busy.
What's the difference?
I think they were just too busy.
I'm too busy to not get the gold medal. I was too busy
this week
in the Olympics.
I was too busy this week.
That's why I don't have a gold medal Olympics.
I probably lost my cowboy hat. Did I lose my cowboy hat?
I'm not a star in the NBA.
Oh no, I still have my cowboy hat right there. Look, 3 days. Oh no, I did. I had like a 29-day streak. Dude, you can't, like, that's what I'm saying. You just got to let people buy a cowboy hat.
But then it doesn't mean much. It means
yes, it does, Keyan.
No, then it means whoever spent money has a cowboy hat. Versus the people who have cowboy hats now, you know what it took
What's
to make
the thing that you always tell everybody? Listen to your users.
Yeah, except when they're wrong. Listen to your users, except when they're wrong.
Oh my God. Look at, you know what my users told me this week? You should do a demo day on Friday. What did I do? I'm going to do a demo day on Friday because I listened to my users. Like, it's the same thing, dude. It's the same thing.
You're doing it because you agree it's a good idea.
It is a great idea.
Yeah, it was also recommended from Paul from Mutiny.
Dude, we've all said, let us buy our cowboy hats. Literally giving you the hardest money on it. All of you.
It's everyone who attends Shiners after bit tests. That's who.
Anyways, let's jump into the million sat mile. 4 million sats, Keyan. What is this? Darth Kane again. Look, he's figured it out. Dude.
Yeah,
he's figured it out. Guys, stackers, go do what Darth does this week. It works. He's number 4. We're gonna break the system, Keyan. If Stacker News can't do this, yeah, right? You would agree. Would you not?
Sure, go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah, if you think that works, do it. Yeah, but Northcoin is in 4th place. Gonna get 200K sats by the estimated rewards for it.
Darth, I expect you to share all that.
David, shortly after him, but then we have quite a long tail of quite a few people earning over 50K sats. I think another 10 people or so earning roughly 50K sats, and then as we go down,
Blockchain Boog.
Blockchain Boog on the list, who thought they were not going to be on the list at all, didn't stand a chance. Max Webster,
Danny Deezy. There you go, high. Danny Deezy. Dude, look at that. Doing an AMA. Show up on the Million Sat Mile. Jimmy Song.
Oh, wow. Jimmy Song's place. Yeah, he was
Tamales. We got Tamales there. I recognize Tamales. Free TX. Oh, nice. DK. Ooh, DK. There you go. And Car's not on the list again. That's what happens. It's okay.
But you know how to do it, at least, right?
I'm going to start doing it this week. I'm just going to tell everybody Bitcoin only on every post. That's it. Just going to keep doing it. Maybe it'll resonate. We'll see.
Will it have a frequency?
You're bringing it back. See how you do that?
You just
that
one was actually brought back.
That was like a perfect time to bring it back. See, you're learning. You're learning how to podcast.
Now
you can be an influencer.
Now that I've met you, I can be a whole human.
Now you can be an influencer.
I see.
So you're rising up from shoveling coke, Keyan. There you go.
Thanks. So maybe you can teach me how my metaphors can make sense.
Hey, man, when you get your own VC fund, then we'll really know, right? Anyways.
I'm going to call it metaphor capital. Or metaphoric. Maybe metaphoric capital.
Metaphoric capital?
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
It's like not real.
I will not invest in metaphoric capital. Who let the dogs out?
Nifty day. Oh my God. What happened?
What happened? We're off the rails. All right. You should just end the show now.
Okay.
It's so bad.
You have the controls.
What are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend?
Oh my God, it's so good.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm nothing probably. I've been watching Star Wars.
Shut up, really?
Yeah, I've been watching Star Wars. That's like what I've been watching.
You've been watching Star Wars.
Why is that funny?
Because you don't watch Star Wars.
I don't know. I've been like sort of invested in I've gotten invested in the universe. So I've been there's like this timeline.
Wait, do you have the Disney channel?
I do have the Disney thing, and
cool.
that's like my TV watching. Is imagining like seeing what I like about what I do.
Are you watching? Have you watched The Mandalorian yet? Did you watch all the Mandalorian?
I watched The Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, and I actually really liked Andor. I thought Andor was really good too.
Dude, I tried watching that.
It's not for everyone. It's like it's much slower and it's more about.
I like the actors,
the political stuff, and I like that.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny that you signed on the Disney channel. I literally just signed on just to watch the second season of Loki.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude. So good. I feel like crap watching it though, because it's so dumb.
Oh,
I
refuse the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, but dude, it's just like so dumb. But sometimes I just think dumb.
Oh yeah. No, I think there's a place for it. I mean, like some of the most popular television is all the reality TV stuff. And I think people just want to get
it was good.
Want to relax. How about you? What are you doing this weekend?
Whoever the actor is was really good. We got Nostradevs this weekend. So tomorrow.
Cool. Who's presenting?
We got Captain Stacks, and a lot of people are in town that want to check out Nostradevs. They've never been to a Nostradav, so we got one going on. There should be some people here. It's been a great week, man. Just overall, like I just want to say personally, thank you to everybody who contributed, who spoke at all the panels this week, whether it was at Bitcoin Takeover today or yesterday at Startup Day. Like, thank you from the bottom of my heart because you're making Austin great. Shout out to Andre for making the trip. Brianna as well too.
None of those people that you just think is watch this.
I mean, also Kelly too from Wolf. Like he also made the trip down, and yeah, thank you to everybody who contributed. Whether you're on the moderator or whether you're a speaker, thank you. I really do appreciate it. You guys made Austin amazing this week, and I think it's just really cool. I think it's really cool to see all these Bitcoiners take over South by. Because dude, I didn't go to any South. This is the first year where I didn't go to any South by event. First year. I went to only
Wow.
Bitcoin stuff. Yeah.
It's like you're a real Bitcoiner now.
No, because usually there's like multiple cool South by things. And this was the first time where I didn't go to any South by.
Did you not have time, or they just weren't cool
I didn't
anymore?
have time, but also they just weren't cool enough. It's just a bunch of woke, broken society living in the 1990s reality that is just not what we're living in right now. People are just do not understand what's going on. Kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like they're happy with that society and they don't realize what's the reckoning that's before us, unfortunately. And that's why
Just
it's
put
so
your money in China.
that's why that's why it's so important to tell your loved ones about Bitcoin. It's so important, snackers. Make sure to do that.
Do it. Do we got any comments? Boosts?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Oh wow, we got a lot of comments. Hey Car, hey Keyan, Philippe. What did he say? Let's see. No, I can't see this. Oh wow, he's calling him out. I said, "Ha! I figured Darth Coin strategy a long time ago." See, this is why you shouldn't share your strategy. He has a lot of free time. Calling you out. Even Felipe is calling you out.
Oh my God, this went on an hour and a half. What were we doing?
We have 192. This is not good. There's a lot of people watching. There's a lot of this is not good. Anyway, who cares?
How'd it go on this long?
Dude, no one cares. Keyan, no one cares.
Those numbers aren't real anyway.
But no one cares, Keyan. Like, we're just two plebs building the future we want to see. And that's it. No one cares. We're coals. We're just
coal shovelers.
Coal shovelers.
I definitely think that's nice.
Yeah, you'll love. I'll tell you the person who said that. You'll love that he said that. Anyways,
cool.
Stackers, this weekend, don't be controversial. But you know what? You go find your freedom and you talk about it with others and you tell them what that freedom is and why it means special to you, regardless of what other people think. That's what I believe. Go do that, Stackers.
Wow. Yeah, do it. Zap.